Hey, what's up, everybody? This is a story that's been on my radar to cover for a little bit now, and this is actually an updated story from 2019. This is from the CT Post, that's a Connecticut paper where the story is out of. And it says here, girls sue to block trans athletes from competing in Connecticut high school sports. It's about three girls. This is them there. Let's scroll down and read the story a little bit. In Hartford, three female high school track competitors filed a federal lawsuit Wednesday challenging a Connecticut interscholastic athletic conference policy that allows trans students to compete in girls' athletic events. Selina Soule, Alana Smith, and Chelsea Mitchell said the policy has resulted in biological boys beating them at competitive track events and denying them the opportunities to compete at higher levels. Forcing female athletes to compete against males is not fair and destroys these girls' athletic opportunities, said Christina Holcomb, an attorney with Alliance Defending Freedom, a Christian legal group. Now, just to rail a little bit real quick before we go on, we always hear these feminist type individuals who are saying that men and women are equal in all ways, equal in every way. Here, we have individuals who are admittedly saying, hey, we can't compete against these boys. So check this out. Speaking at a state capitol press conference, Holcomb said that since 2017, when the CIAC first implemented the policy, two athletes who are biologically male have taken 15 women's state championship titles that were previously held by 9 different girls. The complaint says the girls, as a result, have been denied 85 opportunities to participate in higher level competition between 2017 and 2019. It is not fair for any boy to compete against girls, Alana Smith, a sophomore at Danbury High School, said. That biological unfairness doesn't go away because of what someone believes about gender identity. All girls deserve a chance to compete on a level playing field. I definitely feel for the girl because a lot of these nasty feminist types that are out there, they're already women that are into their 20s and 30s, and they probably never competed in athletics at all. But it hurts me to think that you have these innocent high school girls that are 16, 17, 18, and I shouldn't even say girls, it'd be anybody in general, just these young kids where it's like they're trying to make their way through life and they're trying to figure this stuff out, and all of a sudden they have to compete against boys and they're getting their butts kicked every time. And how does that feel for a girl to show up at this track event knowing they're going to have to compete against these guys every time? It must be disheartening for these young ladies. She said her involvement in the complaint has nothing to do with lifestyle, it's simply about fairness of play. Mitchell, a senior at Canton High School, said she'd run races fast enough to take home a state championship 4 times, and yet each of those times she's been denied a medal because of a biological male. She said that's why she's chosen to join the lawsuit. Christina Mitchell, Chelsea's mother, said she knows what it's like to be told your daughter has the right to participate, but not to win. She said it seems officials in Connecticut are united in their denial of science and the law. She said federal, state, and regional officials have succeeded in publicly intimidating anyone who tries to challenge the policy, accusing us of discrimination, bigotry, and human rights violations. They have silenced parents, coaches, school administrators, and worst of all, our daughters. Selina Soule, the lead plaintiff in the case, and a senior at Glastonbury High School, missed qualifying for the state championship, 55-meter final, and an opportunity to qualify for the New England Championship by 1 spot during the 2018-2019 school year. Holcomb said they are asking for a preliminary injunction to stop the policy and restore a level playing field to women's sports. CIAC may pretend that it's progressive, Holcomb said, but instead CIAC is violating Title IX. The CIAC said it would respond to the lawsuit after it has a chance to review it. Skipping a little bit further ahead in the article, it says here, according to Trans Athlete, Connecticut is one of 17 states to allow them to compete without restrictions. 7 states have restrictions, and 5 have no clear policy. So that's 29 states. So that's not 57 or whatever it is like Barack said, but that's 29 there that I'm counting. So what about the other 21? Several organizations, including Planned Parenthood and the ACLU, wrote a letter in June in support of the 2 athletes who are mentioned in the lawsuit. We are in solidarity with yada yada yada. As organizations that care deeply about ending discrimination against women and girls, we support... Yeah, okay. Basically these jokes of an organization. Because because Planned Parenthood and the ACLU, they're full of it. So they're trying to say they support women and girls' rights, but at the same time, they're allowing men to have the right to beat women in athletics. So that doesn't sound like you're too supportive of women's rights to me. You might try to justify it by claiming that these men are women. That's where the real debate begins, right? The reality of the issue is, and this is something I always talk about with people when we're talking about this, it's ladies, you're on your own on this one. Obviously, we can support you from the sidelines, so to speak, being a sporty term there, but that's all we can do because these individuals and individuals who support them have already used their power to silence men who would try to stand up for the women in this case. Men have no say in this. We can't do anything because we're going to be labeled this, this, and that, going to get fired from our jobs, going to get doxxed, going to get harassed, going to get death threats. So the reality is out there for women everywhere, if you're watching this video, this fight is really your fight. We can't do anything to help. We really can't. So it's going to take all women to stand up and say, hey, look, this isn't fair for those individuals who believe that. If there's a ton of women out there who believe that biological males shouldn't be kicking girls' butts in track and field events, then it's going to take people to stand up. But the reality is that most of the normies, like I say, the soccer mom types out there, they don't even know this stuff. They don't even know this is going on. People watching this video, I don't doubt you guys and girls know what's going on with this. Most of the normies in America, they probably don't even know what's going on here. And if they did, I wonder how they would feel about it. I wonder if more people would stand up to it instead of kowtowing to the woke Twitter crowd that's out there that really seems to dominate the conversation when it comes to these kinds of situations. The way I see it is you really have a situation where biological males are taking away accomplishments from females. We have separate male and female competition for a reason. Females can't compete. That's why they need their own professional sports leagues, their college sports teams. You can't have women softball players trying to play baseball. I know I've seen Jenny Finch striking out people, and she'd strike me out too, but how's she going to hit a 95-mile-an-hour fastball? You can't have female college basketball players trying to compete against the best college teams out there. You can't have the best college team. The best college team this year, I think, in the polls so far was South Carolina. You can't have them going to try and play Duke, play in Kansas, play in Kentucky. It just isn't going to work out. And the same thing trickles down to these high school sports. It's the same thing. You can't have these girls competing against biological males. The results, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. So for me, what it comes down to is obviously I feel how I feel. It's pretty obvious how I feel. I'm all about these girls having their own place to compete. What it is for me, the main thing is the fact that these individuals are being allowed to compete. Is that creating a situation where these girls are missing out on opportunities at the collegiate level? Obviously here we're just talking about high school because this is just kind of coming through the pipeline now. This is a new development where everybody all of a sudden doesn't know what they are. It's coming through the pipeline now. So we're going to see how this plays out over the next few years as it grows and grows because this isn't going to go away. So my thing is for individuals like Selina and Chelsea who are seniors and are losing out on these competitions, is this costing them, I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but is this costing them an opportunity to compete at the college level, to get a scholarship somewhere so they can go continue their track career and continue their education free of charge? That's my thing. I don't want to see opportunities taken away from females by males in the sense that it'll cost them in the long run. If these individuals can get scholarships, even if they didn't go on to be professionals, they could at least go on and get degrees and stuff like that and advance later in life in their professional careers due to their athletic skills right now. Predictions for this. Again, I'd like to know what you think. This is a really hot button issue. Everybody's got an opinion on it. This is a really hot button issue. A lot of people have a take on it. And again, a lot of people aren't even aware that this stuff is happening because you don't really see this on the news that much. And I think the media is kind of scared to cover it. They'll act like it's, oh, so good, it's great, this and that. It's good that these people are getting to do whatever they want to do. But you've got to consider the ramifications. It's really harming these young ladies. The reality is it's men taking away opportunities from young girls. And I think when people would sit there and think about that, I'd imagine that most of our society can't be okay with that. How could you be okay with that? I'd like to know what you think, but here it is, predictions. And I was talking to somebody about this just a few days ago. I could see a situation where, as this continues to grow, say 5, 10, 15 years from now, as the next generation of trans individuals comes through, because now we have this thing where you're being rewarded for being this, and you're being trained to be this from an early age by the media. Everybody's giving you a pat on the back if you become this other thing. When these individuals hit high school that are youths now, 4, 5, 6-year-olds that they're trying to make be a certain way, when these individuals hit high school, what are they going to do? Are they going to try to play softball? Are they going to go on to girls' golf teams? They're obviously in track already. Female water polo, if they have it. Female volleyball. The question becomes, once you have this huge generation come up of individuals, are they going to take over, to some degree, high school sports? And then again, 10, 15, 20 years from now, this is my thought. You're going to have individuals at lesser colleges, maybe it starts off at like a D3 or a D2 or something, where they aren't competitive. Say a women's basketball program or a women's golf or track program, where they see this happening and there's some unscrupulous coach and he sees all of this stuff happening, and then he gets it into his head and he says, our teams are terrible. We lose year after year. I wonder what would happen if we sign up a bunch of men to play for our team and compete against girls. So that's my prediction. As the groundswell of individuals that are trans continues to grow, then my prediction would be that you're going to see eventually, you're going to see a lot more of this at the high school level, and then at some point you're going to see at college it just continue. And then all of a sudden you're going to have biological males on a same court competing against females, and you know how the result's going to turn out. That's my long-term prediction. Everybody, that's my video. What are your predictions? What do you think? Men, like I said, hey, I'm out. We need to stay out of this. I gave my opinion. I'm going to get killed. I'm going to get roasted, y'all. Again, women, this is really a fight that you need to take on if you feel a certain way. Then again, if you agree with it and you're good with this and you think, hey, if it thinks it's a woman, then so be it. Fight for what you believe in as well. And so once again, that's the video, everybody. It was an interesting one, but love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching the video as always, and take care, everybody.